live with the pre-show. Hello, everyone. If you're tuning in, you are 5 minutes early, or technically we're 10 minutes late. Either way, the main show will start at 8 o'clock. For those of us here, you see that we have someone else with us than we usually do. Jesse, man, thanks for having you here. I'm going to ask you that exact same question in roughly 5 minutes.
You're welcome. I'll answer it then.
All right, perfect. Okay, so during the pre-show, while we continue to set things up, it's just kind of loose, no real structure, just kind of talking. How you guys been up to these days?
You know what I've been up to.
Yeah, just been
That's true.
a review machine.
That's true.
This is the first time in 2 months I'm not actively reviewing something because I think everything I'm on.
Yeah. Oh, you were going hard for a while. Yeah, for me, I've just been playing Starfield. Well, I took a break though. I've been, yeah.
Oh my God!
I've been watching people's coverage of it, and they're like, "Man, no one's thinking about it. This game's pretty terrible."
How are people still bringing up Starfield? As in, like, man, I don't know what people are talking about this game. Like, look, what was that? Well, someone show me how to have fun.
Like, yeah. Someone tell me how to have fun in this. Like,
stop playing.
You stop like them or you don't.
Like, if you're not having fun playing a goddamn video game, stop playing the video game.
I am like through the I completed the story, so now or my first playthrough, I should say, and now like I've just been going through and just
so how was the main quest
and all that?
Would you say compared to, let's say, the other ones?
Good. Yeah. I would say that, like, I in my opinion, like, take it slow and do a lot of stuff. Have fun, kind of explore the world. Because I think the ending is more impactful if you do. So
that's what I kept having to tell, like, Tom Warren and others, and they're like, no, just get through the right away and get through all the new game plus. That's where the game really starts. And it's like, it doesn't mean anything if you just skip all the content. That makes the way you go into new games.
It's like some people saying skip like the first 2 seasons of this one show that gets really good in season 3. Well, one of the reasons
Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Exactly.
I always hear that.
Well, one of the reasons those other seasons get really good is because you've built up with certain. There's some shows where I will fully agree, like, I don't know, maybe Parks and Rec, but it's like, at least story-centric shows, you need that build-up.
Yeah, and like the new game plus is, I'll say, is like, because I'm just trying to rush through it, so it's getting pretty boring and repetitive. But so I'm kind of hoping to get to the end of that, to where then I'll start another full playthrough.
Oh damn! Okay.
And because there's places that I never that I didn't go to, or I missed on my first playthrough.
Okay.
And so I was like, oh, I kind of want to go back, explore those. I know there's this other, like, this planet, this place that everyone's been telling me about. I guess it's like a whole bunch of like historical figures or something. I don't like saying too much. I haven't been there yet, so
we get the distress beacon call, and you definitely want to go to that one.
Okay, yeah, I'll definitely, that's one place I want to try to go on my, like, I would say my final playthrough. So yeah, I just have a bunch of that stuff. So, but it's so much in that game. Like, I am about, like, I think 5, almost 6 days of playtime in it, I think. Somewhere.
Damn. All right. Okay.
I lost track.
Okay.
I was I had 103 hours for my review in those, like, 2 weeks or so. But it's the type of game where, like, once you finish a playthrough and you're like, okay, I'm gonna take a break, then you can just come back and you can just continue that next new game plus playthrough to go through it again. But you keep it, and I really like that setup, along with the fact that there's just going to be an insane canvas of mods available.
Yeah, the modding scene is going to be insane.
Yep.
I'm going to say that I am reviewing Lords of the Fallen. It's done and dusted. It'll be out before launch on Friday. So the game launches Friday. The review will be out. It's a pretty long one. So
good review too, though.
I'm sure there's already people that are streaming it that have given hours and hours of gameplay and opinions, but I can't say anything. So.
Seriously. Oh man.
And I think next for me is Alan Wake 2, whenever that shows up. So that'll be fun.
Oh.
Okay. It is 8 o'clock. We will be going live with the main show momentarily. Anything else you guys want to say before we do?
Nope.
Bananas.
All right, see you on the flip side, guys. Greetings and welcome to the 81st episode of the HaloEra podcast, previously known as the You Had Me at Halo podcast. Joining us today is my usual guest and co-host, Nick, or Iron Wolf. How's it going, man?
Doing pretty well.
Nice. And also joining us today in a nice, really welcome surprise is Jesse, who told himself he'd take the day off, but I think is physically incapable of doing so. But hey, I asked him, so it's also on me.
I had done it all day. So, I mean, even after taking the day off, I ended up just playing the thing I had just eaten for review again. More, Mig X Elite says audio a bit low.
Audio's a bit low. Okay, let's see. How do I...
Is he lying or is he telling the truth?
It's better than robotic.
Yeah, that's true.
Give me a second. I'm pretty sure I can increase the decibels or whatnot. By like,
let's say, yeah, it sounded a little bit lower on my end, but my YouTube slider was volume slider was a little bit low.
Okay, it should be good now. I mean, we're going all the way down to like the halfway point, which should be decent, I think. Oh, forgot to turn on my light. Oh, what's up? I can't see anything. All right. Maybe we'll just have to speak louder. But okay, guys.
That's fine. People have this thing called the volume button.
Yeah.
Turn it up.
So we were missed last week. That was kind of a quiet week. I was feeling pretty sick. I'm feeling better now, but maybe it's not a bad thing we waited because we got a ton of Halo information.
Yeah.
And to be honest, we're getting more and more every single day. So leading up into, I'm assuming, the big dive this weekend as the next season of Halo Infinite, officially called Reckoning, releases next Tuesday. But before we talk about that, Jesse, I know you've been really busy with other games. Nick, have you played any Halo in the last few weeks?
No, I don't think so. I kind of slowed down a bit, but definitely gonna be playing season 5.
Oh yeah, for sure. Personally, Husky Raid came back with super Husky Raid now, and it's next level. Honestly, Jesse, you need to try Husky Raid, man. It's chaos. And it's a lot of fun.
Is it big team or
4v4? It's just 4v4, a single straight line. You spawn at random weapons, and it's CTF. It's just mass chaos.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's just a tunnel of chaos.
Though
actually, play Halo multiplayer, it's big team or it's Firefight.
You didn't come back for a squad battle, right? It was 8v8 Halo 3, 2, and 4 big team battle maps.
If it was this year, I literally only played things.
Dude, we gotta get together a bit, and we gotta play some squad battle because it's a lot of fun. But okay, all right. So that's it with that, and now let's move right in. So Halo Infinite Season 5 Reckoning is officially announced. Have you guys seen the trailer?
Yeah, I watched it earlier today.
So let's
Soul, have you watched the whole thing this time?
I did. I watched the trailer 3 times. I'm like, that was amazing. It finishes. I pause. I go all the way back. I watch it again 3 times. I go into chat and I'm like, but man, Firefight's missing. There's no Firefight. All the rumors, all the leaks, every hint said Firefight. I guess it just wasn't ready. And someone's like, watch it again. Watch the whole thing. And I had to go to like the States, so I didn't watch the whole thing till like 3 hours later. And yeah. So I guess that's the big news. Even though it's not coming at release, is that Firefight is officially back to Halo with Halo Infinite Season 5,
which is great. I know it's something that they wanted to add, the community's been wanting for a very long time.
Yeah.
And I had many hundreds of hours. Right. Halo 5's I had like 300 hours in with. Outside of campaign, it was mostly Firefight because I played a fair amount of PvP and a fair amount of Warzone. But then when Warzone Firefight hit, I was in. Finally used all my rec cards. About feeling bad.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. You saw my rec cards too.
Rec packs in Firefight with Halo 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't.
That was the time to use them because you could die in like a hit to some of the harder NPCs, but you felt more in control than when you're playing real people in Warzone. So
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, I kind of stopped playing Halo 5 before Firefight came out. I didn't really play Halo games online much till Halo Infinite. But that being said, I guess we're on Firefight. Let's go with Firefight. It's coming later. It's not coming at launch, so not October 17th. I'm thinking probably before winter because they don't want to release a big mode right before going on holidays, right? They learned that mistake pretty
Yeah.
clearly.
My guess is it might come sometime in November.
Yeah, that's my guess too.
Yeah, just
right
because,
before
like,
Thanksgiving break.
yeah, they. I mean, hell, it might. I would hate for them to do that just because I would sympathize with the people.
What are you talking about, Jesse? Thanksgiving was it was last weekend. All right.
Mm-hmm. The one people care about with all the pilgrims who definitely it worked out the way that they taught us in the history books with them being super chill with the natives.
Oh man. But what was I gonna say?
Words in English.
Firefight coming later.
Firefight's coming later. If you guys look at the trailer, it's kind of interesting. They say Firefight and then King of the Hill. So it looks like they fully plan on introducing new modes or whatnot into the game, and that's kind of cool. If they make it like a fully supported mode for the next, who knows how long.
Yeah, I wonder if them doing the King of the Hill thing is so the AI kind of have somewhere to go to. So kind of a little bit of a peek behind the curtain is like typically for some of the AI and stuff like that, you kind of set objectives for them to go to. And I think one of the easiest ones is just like, hey, go to this location.
I mean, previous firefights have technically kind of been King of the Hill, right? Where it's like you have to hold an area, or no? How's it?
I think in ODST there. Oh no, maybe not ODST. I think there was a mode or something where you had to hold a area, or like capture a zone or something like that. I believe. I know in Warzone in Halo 5 there was. You had to like kind of control some.
Well, that was like a mix.
Yeah, you had to be inside the building and not get pushed out of it. That type of stuff. Like you had to be in the zone.
So pretty similar.
Timer ran out.
So King of the Hill should hopefully be pretty familiar Firefight for people.
Yeah, I would think so. And I think too it's just easier for them to do that as well. Like if so that way like forgers and stuff can kind of drop it into maps a lot easier and just be like, hey, I want the AI to head to this location or something, or like, kind of control this area. And it's probably a whole lot easier to have that than a bunch of other.
That being said, the fact that they say King of the Hill makes me think there's probably other modes being worked on. Maybe something like take bases down or things like that. That'd be really interesting. Like a full-on wave system. Like, I don't know how to describe it. But you know what I mean.
Yeah. In Halo 5 there was some stuff where I think you could. It was almost like, I think it was based on like extraction, which is another thing we could talk about too. Is where or maybe not extraction. It was some mode where you strongholds.
Okay.
And you hold the stronghold and then it builds up like turrets and stuff like that. So that you can destroy. So maybe that might be on too. That'd be kind of cool.
Because they would have targets. They would have point defense. They would have like you got to defend the Forerunner cores from getting attacked by NPCs, and those are the majority of them. Protect this place, hold this place, kill this specific enemy.
Yep.
What's really interesting, I wanted to show this, is in one of the pictures. So they revealed they're changing events up a little bit, making operations. We'll talk about that in a bit. But they revealed this trailer. Sorry, not this trailer. This image for one of the first events. If you look at it, and it's you as a Spartan, right next to like a jackal, like kind of like his allies, which makes me think that now that they have Forge AI in the game, it might not be limited to just like a firefight game mode. They might literally have an event game mode where it's like, hey, you and a group of enemy AIs versus an enemy team and a group of enemy AIs, sorry, allied AIs, let's say.
That'd be pretty cool,
right? Even in the back, I think you have a.
Well, when they're built into Forge, I bet that. I mean, that's probably just a part of building it into it. Is like you're making teams of enemies, and those teams can be a part of Spartan teams. I would imagine, because it's like it would be weird if it was just always because like the Doom-like nature of something like that could be really fun, where you can have a group of AI versus a group of AI versus a group of people, or you can mix
Yeah.
them all together. Like
What's it
it's
called?
all about giving
I-
choice. So
Yeah, all it is just a tag that is enabled on the AI and stuff like that, or even the player that's
I
like,
mean,
hey,
yeah.
this is part of this team.
Michael Shore did confirm. Michael Shore did confirm that you can pick whatever team you put the enemy AI on. So yeah, I mean,
So
it'd
yeah,
be kind of dumb not to do something like
I wonder
this.
if they'd have like Marines as well as
That's a good
grunts
question.
and
Huh? Can allied
jackals
AI?
and
yeah,
yeah.
Huh.
yeah. I don't know. But I kind of, I would think that they would. I mean, that it shouldn't be too hard for them to add in. But then I don't know. Uh, they don't want to add a whole bunch of human or Marines and stuff, and then have people just killing a bunch of
We
Marines.
still haven't officially ever on purpose killed human soldiers in a Halo game. I think, right?
Yeah.
If you've ever
So
played with SoulBlazerz or Dan, then all you do is see them killing Marines and picking their guns in the campaign.
You can't even kill them in Halo Infinite unless you run them over, which we learned.
but yes, I I like the aspect too of like, because then you'll be able to have like elites and stuff on your team. So it kind of, in my mind, kind of brings forth the like, oh, you can have like the sort of Helios peeps along with you.
That'd be
Kind of
really,
brings some
really
of that
interesting.
narrative in there and
Mhm.
can kind of help forge that pathway a bit.
Overall, I mean, Jesse, you know, man, how long did we discuss about the possibilities of AI in Forge? Like, for years,
Since
I want
the-
to say. Like,
Yeah, from the moment we knew they were talking about Forge, it was
Yeah, people have been. It definitely was a big wish item from Halo 5, when uh kind of when Warzone and everything was in there. People were like, well, hey, like let us have this in Forge and stuff. So that's kind of when a lot of the community really started to be like, hey, maybe it's a possibility, let's push for it.
but okay, I guess speaking of, we already kind of discussed it, but yeah, Forge AI is finally coming in. It's been rumored for months and months, if not years. We've had little like data mine stuff like Jackal this or this that. We've actually seen leaked videos of 5 grunts versus like a banished brute or whatnot. By the way, I think like immediately you're gonna have videos like 50 brutes versus 100 jackals, which I doubt you'll be able to put that many in a
Yeah,
match.
there's
right?
gonna be some kind of cap
Yeah.
that they're gonna do, and then
you
people
could have a
ask for them to
smaller
raise the cap.
you could have a bigger cap if you get rid of Xbox One support.
Hey, Thursy,
Yes.
how's it going, man? Let me know if the audio is a little low. We're doing audio a little different this time to avoid the infuriating issues we
As
had
long
last
as you
time.
see us tickling the red, not going into it, but just tickling the red, like you're in the yellow, that's where you want to be.
All right, let me make it a little higher then.
You don't want to be all green. You want to be tickling the yellow.
Do you increase the decibels of your StreamYard audio?
Yes, I do.
Okay, all right, perfect then. That I'm not crazy. Okay, cool.
Not
Forge
about that.
Forge AI is finally coming. Do you think they'll expand on that as well? In the sense
Uh,
that we don't know the skill yet, right? We don't know if like hunters are in or which
no,
enemy AIs are in, that kind of thing.
yeah, we don't know the scale yet. I would think that whatever we saw in Firefight, which was they did have hunters and
Yeah,
stuff like that,
yeah.
that would be my guess for what we can see in Forge AI. That's just kind of my guess. But then again, they might go basic. They might just go, you have elites, jackals, brutes, and grunts. Um, you know, it's kind of hard to figure out.
Yeah,
But
yeah. I mean, we're gonna
if
get
I
more
had to guess,
information very soon. I think
Are
literally
they
this week.
gonna bring back Prometheans and give me the Warden Eternal so that I can have just 100 Warden Eternals to fight throughout a firefight?
imagine if that was the
Make it
AI
Halo
that
5
they.
like.
You know, with Halo Infinite
Imagine if that's
sandbox,
the
it
AI
might
they
be
did.
pretty fun.
Then you won't have the splinter grenades that can one-shot them though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Or the friggin' shotguns to the back that takes them out real quick too. Okay, so we have campaign AI in Forge, which is obviously a big thing, but also I think it's something that people, like the average people, don't kind of realize how big it can be yet. Like it's a cool moment, but it's how do I say it? Like it's until
It
they play it and they realize, oh,
it's
this is cool.
Yeah, it's gonna take so from what I've been seeing in the Forge community, some people are getting pretty excited about forging again because it was kind of getting a bit stale. Though there is also a lot of bugs that I guess still need fixed that have also been turning people away. But
With Forge, right?
yeah, with Forge. So hopefully with season 5 comes some of those fixes. But then again, too, with them adding AI and all that stuff, it's going to probably break a lot more things too.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a whole
As a
lot more things
forger,
to
I'm
test
sure like
and
every
go
update is
on.
kind of like bittersweet, where it's like, oh, nice, cool features,
Mhm.
but I hope it doesn't break all my stuff.
That is right now one of the main killers for uh people not really forging anymore. It's just like they hit this like huge blocker
Mm,
where like tens and almost hundreds of hours into a map, and it like breaks because of some stupid bug, and then they
mm,
have to like restart it. It's like that just like destroys your soul, and you just don't want to, you're just like, well, I'm done.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, it's unfortunately like one of the biggest things that's just happens. And
That was
with them,
my review of the Lamplighters League,
Oh
where I
man.
played it for 30 hours, but my save game is still only 10 hours in because it would crash and lose my saves that I made that often. Like I
wow.
And
can't do it
yes,
anymore.
thus, Sif, we definitely will talk about that. It's technically part of community questions, so we'll bring it up right then and there because it's really interesting stuff. Which I didn't realize was interesting until I looked into it more. But okay, let's just quickly move through season 5. All right, so there's a little list about what we're getting in season 5, and first things on the list is the all new flood customization items, which actually ties in with the lore piece too. So maybe we'll touch on that too. Venture into crystal caves with some map effects.
That
Um,
map looks cool.
that map
I
looks
like
super cool.
the cool, or the X1 crystal and stuff. I think that's pretty neat.
Yeah,
It's like
Mhm.
I want to see those items in Forge.
that's actually a good idea. No, that map looks super cool. I remember when it first leaked like months ago. I watched the entire like
Mhm.
20-minute video. I'm like, well, this looks really interesting. In fact, I think we showed it here on this show back then too a little bit.
Showing leaks? Oh
Right,
no.
right. How dare we?
I don't think we did. I think we showed a picture. Did we
Maybe
show the
might have been a
picture?
picture. Yeah,
I don't,
yeah,
because I don't remember seeing the video. I think it
yeah.
was just like just a concept art or like a picture or something of it.
But
That's what it
there was
was.
that map. There's another map, Forbidden, which ranked players should be happy. They are getting a ranked map this season. At least I think they're getting two actually, but one is dev made, not a Forge remake. It's a proper thing. They'll hate it for the first couple months. They'll say it's the worst map ever, and then they'll be like, "Oh yeah, this is pretty good now." Like that's the cycle there. We're also getting Forge AI, of course. We're getting we're getting cross core helmets across any core,
Mhm.
which is pretty
I
That
cool.
was nice.
That is the most excited thing I
Yeah.
believe I'm for. Have been I've been doing the lone wolf stuff,
Mm,
and the helmet they have in there is like, pretty cool. It's almost like
yeah,
ODST, but
yeah.
it's not my ODST helmet. And I like all the other aspects of the armor. So now I'll actually be able to have my ODST helmet on the body
That's
I
cool.
want.
That's cool.
And
Now,
I am so happy.
when they said cross core, I really just wanted the helmets and the coatings. Was really all I wanted. The shoulders, sure, I guess it'd be nice, but I'm okay. The helmets are the
Yeah.
main things. Speaking of
Mhm.
cross core coatings, every coating I think in this season
Ooh,
that you can get is cross core. I'm not
I get some
100%.
nice coatings.
Yeah, there's some really cool coatings. I'm not 100% sure on that.
I have a lot of cosmetics. Are they still a pain in the ass to change?
They are. Oh, I mean, you can change them now while you're loading in,
Yeah.
which was one of my main issues with changing because I'd be queuing up for a match so quick that I'd never have a chance to even change what I'm wearing. But it's still just vertical in horizontal menus. Though apparently there was a mention of UI change too, which
I know a lot of people complain about the UI.
I'll need to look up. And I guess one of the coolest things that they added, is sorry, 1 second. Is okay. So one thing they added, Jesse, while you weren't playing was they added career rank, which is just you play the
Yeah, I
game,
saw.
you get EXP, right? Yeah, it's pretty simple. It's pretty basic. And if you play a ton, I think people averaged it out as 1,000 hours or so.
Jeez.
You would get hero rank. And in hero rank, you get essentially nothing right now. But they added in one of the coolest rewards. I've got to say, like this is so cool.
It actually gives an incentive,
like a proper incentive. You can just be the chief from Halo Infinite in multiplayer. Like, I'm assuming, I'm kind of curious if they added voice lines too. I kind of doubt it because core kits have never changed that aspect of your multiplayer character.
Yeah,
but it is a kit. You can't customize it. It's literally the model chief from the game from the campaign in the multiplayer, and it's actually. I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think? Is it too good? Is it not good enough? Is it annoying that you can't get it without grinding like crazy?
I think that last bit. I'm kind of annoyed that I can't get it without as someone who freaking worked on the game. It's like I kind of wish I could just run around as chief in the game. But yeah, I think that one aspect's cool. But I like that there's an incentive though for those people to get it.
Yeah,
and it's like
yeah.
kind of it's a noticeable badge to have
Yeah.
instead of just a little emblem. So I like that aspect of it.
Like when I'm playing the game and I load in and someone there is chief, like I'm like, oh damn, this guy's played this game a lot since.
Yeah, this guy has no life.
Yeah, straight up.
Yeah, it's not just a money thing this time. It's an actual.
Yeah.
They've played a lot. They're OBM. They're playing nonstop.
In
And
fact,
complaining about it online for hours afterwards.
I don't think OBM even has this because it only counts the progression once the career rank came out. So I'm like way down too. In fact, a friend of mine who has like half my games has more career rank than I do.
I would be so pissed if I was like, if I did all that stuff to get the hero rank, got nothing for it, and then they come out with something, just be like, oh yeah, here's this, but sorry, you can't have it because you already got it or whatever, or hit the rank. That'd be frustrating.
If Firefight's good enough, I might end up in, and I can earn it that way. I might get
100%. So the other thing they,
yeah.
Yeah,
I was gonna say
go ahead,
that goes right into this goes right into that they are allowing custom games and stuff you're allowed to get XP in custom games now.
Keep in mind, I believe it's only for Battle Pass right now, EXP. It's not career rank.
Ooh.
Oh,
I'm out.
Yeah. Well, but it's still like pretty cool because that incentivizes. I think I mentioned it in one of our discords or something that it kind of incentivizes people to go into custom games a bit more, into custom browser and play like forge creations and stuff, and hopefully that allows more or draws more people into that ecosystem, so then forgers will get kind of back into it. And now with like AI Forge and Firefight and stuff, then you'll probably see a lot of cool stuff. I imagine a lot more like linear style like campaign missions that people have made that's just like, hey, storm this tower or some shit.
Yeah, and people will actually play it and they'll find a little progression bar that goes up. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they do find a way to like have your custom map like be like kind of approved for not being abusive to the EXP system, and then hey, go ahead. You can sorry, I just read a message. That's cool that it pops up there. I didn't realize it did in full screen. But anyways, that you can then use to get career rank too. Wouldn't surprise me. Because it looks like a lot of things, Infinite or 343, they start slow. Like, hey, we're doing this, and you can tell they want to do so much more, and it takes a little while, but they get there, right?
I wonder if they're going to cap the custom game XP, because in the past they have done custom game XP, but they capped it, and it was a pretty low cap. I forget which game they did it in, but
I mean, I'm sure it'll be lesser than playing matchmaking or
yeah.
Right now, even AI.
Typically, it is.
Even I think friggin' bots is lower EXP in terms of, maybe not in terms of how quickly you finish a game, but in terms of what you get after every game, right?
Yeah, it's never going to be as much as when you're just doing their matchmaking, but
yeah,
it depends. I'm curious. Like Sea of Thieves is going to be doing the same thing with their private servers, so I'll actually finally go through that and do all the tall tales.
PvE in.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's the same thing. You can't get max ranks in certain stuff. You can't. You get less gold. You get less seasonal experience, but they're there now because it was already in there, but it was just for like specific people who are whitelisted.
Halo,
it'll probably be similar.
Not just Halo, but I feel like in general, there's so many games to play that when you pick a game to play, you gotta kind of like ration your time. Like, hey, I'm playing Halo Infinite this week, but I want to do all my challenges, or I want to get some progression on my battle pass. So I'm going to play matchmaking, right? Not custom. So even if it's just like even a small amount, it's like, oh, I can play custom games. I can play a night of custom games with friends and actually progress through something official. Sure, let's do it, right? Why not?
Yeah.
Sorry. I was mentioning earlier, I feel like sometimes when you have like a community playlist, it can actually deter people from playing custom games because it's like, oh, all these maps are right here in an official playlist. I can just play them here and wait for the next community playlist to play the best of those maps. So overall, it's a really nice change that should help out forgers a fair bit too, in terms of getting an audience. Okay, all right. Moving on really quick. Extraction, new game mode coming in, including to ranked. I'll be honest, I didn't play Halo 4 multiplayer online much. Have you played Extraction? You know what kind of...
I loved Extraction.
Okay, all right.
It was a mode that people didn't really like as much, but I don't know, I had a lot of fun playing it. And it was just like, I always just found it as a fun mode to play. And so I was really bummed when they didn't have it in Halo 5. And that like a lot of my other friends didn't really care to play Extraction. I don't know. I just thought it was fun because it was something different. It was a little bit. It was a play on some of the typical objectives and stuff, but it had enough variation that's like this felt new, and it was just kind of fun to play. So, but yeah, I think it's, if memory serves right, it's like you go to essentially like a hill, and then you have to extract something somewhere else. But the extraction device allows you to, I think, be used as like a weapon.
Oh, interesting. Okay. It's kind of like CS:GO or Call of Duty's, was it bomb? No, what's it called? When you plant a device and gotta defend it or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know the mechanic. I forget what they call it exactly, though.
Yeah, straight up. Though what's kind of interesting is, speaking of, I actually watched 15 minutes of Extraction gameplay. Why? Because IGN is doing videos on Halo Infinite, which Season 3. Kotaku wrote an article. It kind of feels like Microsoft's like, hey, like, do you think Microsoft pays these outlets to do these things?
It's a quid pro quo where like you will get this early and you get to push this out. And for them, it's like, if this is, we'll see, does this do the good SEO? As long as it does, then it's worth it for both sides, because Xbox gets their promotion by trusting IGN and the others to do this early and not mess it up. We'd love to do stuff like that. Right. No one ever trusts us.
Seriously. But it kind of feels like, and we know, at least we're presumed to know, that next month, November, there's another marketing campaign starting up in terms of, I think, G Fuel is coming back.
Oh, yep.
Yep.
Can't wait to get cases of that shit.
Wouldn't be surprised if I see it this weekend. But it kind of feels like even Microsoft's getting a little less stingy with 343 and Halo Infinite. Like, from going to, hey, you're not even showing at the extended show at E3, to, hey, here's some more money for marketing. They're hiring a lot. In fact, it was kind of interesting seeing, so there's some layoffs in recent weeks. It's honestly been a pretty terrible year for game developers.
It's been the best year for game players and one of the worst years for game makers. Not because game makers are doing a bad job, but because the idiots that run their companies are so into the metaverse and a bunch of other really stupid bets that have just completely screwed over
who thought that
very hard, the very successful releases they've had. It's like there's been so much money to be made, but it's we're going into a recession and we made some really dumb bets with Web3 and NFTs. So we'll get rid of the people that make us money, because not the people who messed it all up.
But during that time, I think I saw Brian or a sketch post like, hey, we're hiring, come check out our career page. So going from like, hey, they fired half their studio, their career page has been literally not found for months, to, hey, you got fired, come work with us, is kind of exciting as a Halo fan, right? Things are finally brewing.
Yeah, it's exciting, but kind of sad to see. That's just the corporate world for you, though. It's like, we laid off a bunch of people, but like, a few months later, hey, we actually can, do all this stuff.
You can just be Epic and you can fire 900 people and then laud your hiring page where you're hiring a bunch of people. It's like,
God. And at the very least, it's they didn't shutter the studio, they didn't cancel the game. In fact, technically, since the layoffs, we've had more content than ever, which kind of
well, part of that I think was a shift in the
Mhm.
leadership more than
Yeah.
anything, because
Yeah.
a lot of the people that got laid off at the studio were mainly around campaign.
Mm.
Um, so that's kind of where that chunk came from, which campaigns, like, I don't even know what they're doing anymore. Like, I think a long
Yeah.
time ago they wanted to do like regular updates and stuff, or expansions and stuff,
Yeah,
but
the way the UI set up, it's set up to slot in expansions, and like even the
yep,
game
Yeah.
install is
Yeah.
set up to
Yeah.
slot in expansions. So
yep. And and that was the original plan, but I'm guessing that got shelved.
Yeah. Yeah.
um and then also to kind of touch back on the marketing stuff, what I learned too, there is, actually learned this from when the game was delayed. uh a lot of that marketing stuff, like the G Fuel and things like
Yeah.
that, was probably discussed last year. And
Interesting.
it
Okay.
just that's just how long it takes
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
the whole process. So it's like they were planning this for a long time. um and
yeah, so
uh
that's why like Starfield drinks and Mountain Dews are just starting to come out
Yep.
because it's
Yep.
always
And
takes
Diablo
forever.
for
Yeah, the
that's-
thing that makes me sad is the campaign side getting so gutted
Yeah.
because of the failures to have the multiplayer side
Yep.
ready.
Yep.
Because
Yep.
like the campaign was so good at launch, and they
They
could
did
have
their
built on
job
that
so
so well.
Yeah.
But they
They
didn't have a live team. Like it wasn't set up. It had bad monetization,
Yep.
and it did not have a content pipeline. And so
Mhm.
that side ends up getting built up while the other side has to eat all shit because Microsoft is like, well, we hired a ton of people during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Things are going down a little bit. We've got to keep our profits going up instead of just, making a ton of money and being super rich.
Capitalism.
So
yeah,
it just
they
sucks.
they played heavy into the live service, or the games as a service model. And um it, which is like which is so sad, because it's like it was good in theory, like when we were all there, and it's just like, oh, this would be cool, continue updates and stuff like that. But then when they pushed it back, and then pushed other parts of it back, and it's just like it didn't release all as one thing, like what they promised that it would release all as at one
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
And then they had to kind of go back on that promise, and then
And they
ultimately
promised it would
kinda,
launch when the console did, and it wasn't close to that. So
Yep.
it was just
Yeah.
like it was a lot of you put yourself in a box when you talk about things early and when you give promises, and like that was happening a lot with Bethesda, like it happened with Starfield
Yeah.
and Todd calling his shot and all those things, because Bethesda was really in that similar situation where the Providence Equity was telling them, you've got to just keep making tons of money through these live service games. So then we get Fallout 76 and Elder Scrolls Online, and,
Yep.
and Redfall was going to be full on live service, and that's why that one ended up shifting mid or the very end of production. It's like you see that with Halo, where it's like we are going to try and figure out how to do live service, where they had a pretty good cadence on adding content with Halo 5, but it wasn't that long. It really felt like we've got a plan to do this exact stuff, and then we're moving
It went
on.
for about 2 years, I think, is like their
Yeah.
whole content line for
Yeah.
Halo 5.
And it was good, but it was also it wouldn't be considered games as a service
Yeah.
It was regular free updates funded by the rec packs and everything.
Yep.
So and when you can't do loot boxes anymore because people declared they hate them,
God.
and they
Yeah.
go back and they realize, oh, I actually didn't really hate them. I just hated that people were spending so much money on them. But in reality, loot boxes are, I mean, it's all whatever. But it's definitely been the thing with like Overwatch 2, and you go and see, because Halo now has like the best monetization of any game out there.
It really does. It
Yeah.
really does. And speaking of that,
Just
is
removing the FOMO.
Yeah.
Removing the FOMO is just
and it's
that's the big thing.
getting better. Like right now. So speaking of, one of the other major changes with Halo Infinite Season 5 is the Battle Pass system. So if you played the game before, it's had 4 Battle Passes, paid Battle Passes. A lot of them were kind of fluff. A lot of the items, like 1 shoulder piece, 2 shoulder pieces, 1 flipping emblem for your weapon, 1 emblem for your nameplate, things like that. And there was 100 tiers.
Yeah.
So the new Battle Pass is still premium. It's still $10. It still comes with $10 in currency when you buy it. It's only 50 tiers of Battle Pass, 20 of which, the first 20 of which are free, the other 30 of which is only for the premium users. What they're doing though
That's what,
is it's
what
interesting.
Apex does.
Yeah. What they're doing that's kind of interesting is instead of like last year we had the winter event and the cyberpunk event and things like that. So they're moving events to things called operations, which will last longer, I think like 4 to 6 weeks. Operations are free and they replace the free battle pass. As in when the first operation starts November 14th, the free battle pass is no longer there for season 5. The first 20 tiers.
So will I still have like? So I'm still working my way through Lone Wolf. Am I still?
As long as you owned it, you owned it. That's
one?
fine. You can switch to it whenever you want. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So basically, how the system works.
If you don't pay, you don't get to. You get less time, but then it gets replaced by something else.
Essentially,
but if you buy it,
there's
it's there forever, and you buy it
Exactly.
once, and if you get through all of them, you can just keep cycling through.
essentially there's
without paying
like
anymore.
there's always one free
I
battle
don't know
pass
if I like
active
that.
at all times, right? That's how it's been the last few times too, since seasons. But what they're doing now is instead of the entire season going by and the battle pass switching, when that operation starts, that battle pass switches to the free one there. And the cool part of this is you're thinking, oh, what the heck? That's not a good thing. Well, the cool thing is you can now, when this operation ends, buy that operation battle pass if you really wanted to, and you still have access to it. So you're not missing
As-
events anymore just by not playing the game. You know what I mean? You
As
don't need to-
long as I'm still able to get through Lone Wolf and stuff still and chip my way through that, I'll be happy.
Here, let me
I'm, like,
read it really
level
quick.
60 or something.
Okay, so the free battle
Yeah,
pass.
pretty much-
yeah.
Oh yeah, it's just like pretty much if you buy it, you can go through it at your own pace for the rest of the time. pretty
Yeah,
much.
yeah, that's
I
always
don't
been
know
the case.
if I bought it.
If you're doing it, you bought it because you can't play Lone Wolf without having bought it in season 4.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
So the free battle
Oh, then
pass,
yeah,
will,
that's-
yeah, exactly, and it comes with 1,000 credits, so you have enough once you finish that for the next one. The free battle pass will be available until the new operation begins. Season 5's battle pass will be active until November 14th. On expiration, the 20 free tiers will no longer be available to unlock if you haven't already completed those tiers. If you want to finish beyond that, you can purchase the premium pass at any time, which is what's always been the case. When the battle pass period ends, players will permanently keep all the free content. Yeah, of course, that's normal stuff. But here we go. There's a quick TLDR of the whole change system. So let's see. So overall pass is tighter with better quality content. That's nice. And from what I know, all the codings are cross-core right away instead of taking up friggin' 4, 5, 7 slots every single time. Like Season 4's Battle Pass was a good Battle Pass. Every weapon coding and every friggin' armor coding took up 7 slots, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, Premium Pass costs 1,000 credits, still includes 1,000 credits, includes the instant extra bonus customization. Yep, extra challenge slot, never expires. You can buy it anytime you want, even after the season. The free pass can be converted to any time, blah, blah, blah. Give me a second. Okay, here we go. So Operations TLDR. They're a free 20-tier reward track. Play what you want, including custom games. More time to complete these in the 2 weeks you've had in the previous events. And the free access to the operations expires once the operation ends. So if you haven't completed the operation in the 6 weeks you've had, you can no longer play them again for free. You can still access them again after by paying extra or by paying money to play them in the first place. Once you do, they never expire. Same thing.
Part of me hopes that they would bring back the old
Right? As
old
operations.
event stuff.
That'd be really interesting.
Yeah, because like I said, I still want my emblem that I ran around in the past like 3 Halo games was like I think a Howling Wolf, and that emblem was only available in Lone Wolves for the event period. I didn't know that at the time, and it was during a time when I didn't really play it, so I never got my fucking emblem, and it pisses me off. And I always say that I'm gonna message Uni and be like, just give me the emblem. But I haven't yet.
So they mentioned that the operation has ended. It can be purchased in the shop. I'm not sure if they give them the price. I think it's 500 credits, so half the price of a normal battle pass, which makes sense. There is one thing though, that there is a cosmetic which you can only get if you buy the pass, even if you're playing it while it's currently there. Makes sense. Even the premium battle pass has that, but it is kind of that's the rub, you could say.
This is what pays for them to keep working on the game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
People are going to get annoyed at it, and then they're going to be like, it's a free-to-play game. We need to make money somehow, and these are only cosmetic. You're getting all the actual gameplay stuff for free.
Yep.
And I keep clicking the wrong button there. But also it's like, listen, it's not a $40 skin, all right? Which I know that's not a $40 skin, but still, I think it's cool because a game needs to make money to exist. Like Jesse said, how it makes that money is really important. And if it's like, hey, it's only 500 credits, you can buy this event whenever the heck you want, you get an extra item. Sure, why not, right? I mean, when they added the ability to purchase older items straight through the inventory thing, a lot of people bought older stuff because they're like, yeah, I wanted that. I just wasn't playing in the 1 week that
I wanted
was
the
available.
kitty ears.
Yeah, yeah. Those keep rotating in super often, but yeah. In general, it's a really good way to kind of combat FOMO. Hopefully, they like wrap up the previous events like 10 Ride 1, 10 Ride 2, put them in an operation. You know, that'd be cool. Speaking of operations, so there we have 2 coming: the Combined Arms, start later, and the Winter Contingency 3, which I put the picture.
Very Santa looking.
Yeah, you guys see that?
yeah. They like to definitely go heavy into the Santa and the winter stuff.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like it. I mean, it's not like super duper like, it's just Santa Claus.
I know someone who doesn't like it.
Yeah, of course.
He just hates everything.
But one thing I kind of like about Infinite's customizations is it's still Halo, right? Better or worse, there's still helmets on. It's still friggin' armor.
Still no Doom guy, damn it.
Yeah, that has to be coming. That has to be coming.
Power armor? Like, come on.
And people said they looked at the left and they're like, hey, isn't that just the pilot from Titanfall? In the corner there.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, anyways, a lot of cool things happening with the operations, with the battle passes. There is even more stuff coming soon. They're going to go through the map overview. They already have the extraction overview. If anyone's curious the ins and outs of the mode, you can check it out on Halo Waypoint. They're going to talk about the Forge updates. They're going to talk about Ranked. Ranked is changing considerably, which for anyone who watches Halo esports, it's a pretty big change because, I mean, they haven't announced it yet. Or actually, I think they did because they got leaked. But they reworked the Bandit to having a small scope, and they're going to be changing or making that the starting weapon in Ranked. Both HCS and the Ranked playlist.
Didn't we like? I feel like before that it was even leaked. Didn't we like talk about that?
It was. I mean, when I was at in Texas a couple months ago, I was talking to people, and they basically said, "Yeah, that's happening." We already know that's happening, but this is the official implication that that's what's happening. Other than that, let me quickly go through our docket. Yeah. So one thing we didn't talk about are the Flood cosmetics. Do you guys take a look at them? They look.
I did.
I just seen the ones in the video. I haven't seen the actual like all of them though. I mean, seen that, but even the ones in the video I was seeing, I was like, oh, those are some pretty cool. And I was like, I'm happy that those coming back.
Right.
I want to see. I wish that like you could force apply cosmetics because I would love to see that stuff get force applied to someone who becomes infected. And
that's what you're saying, like in infection.
Yeah,
that'd be interesting.
But, that looks pretty sweet though.
Yeah, right. This looks really cool, and the fact that they're customization items, and they did mention that some will be in the battle pass, some will be paid. I was kind of expecting them all to be paid, so I'm kind of happy that we're at least getting some in the battle pass. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. That kind of looks like the Kepri horn for any Destiny 2 Titan players.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's probably one of the cooler ones and not gross ones. I was going on Twitter a bit. They're talking about, or I think it was Reddit. They're like, yeah. So I was like one of the art leads or something during this time, and if like a design made me go, what the heck is this? This is gross. Then the art team knew they were doing their job right. Like this is what they wanted with the events. Flood is. Oh, what's kind of curious is, so every event or every season, they used to have narrative events, things like that, blah blah blah. And they were kind of building up to something, and they stopped it. The season 4 cutscenes actually leaked a couple days ago by Sarasia. You can look it up. It's on YouTube. It's right there. They're interesting. You can tell they're unfinished. It's just on the last time we left off, it was Iratus, and he was like affecting a body or a suit of armor.
Yeah.
You get him off somehow, and then Oni shows up and takes control of everything, which is probably the most interesting thing about it. Which has never, because we never really interacted with Oni much during the games.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Like, I think the only time you kind of do is with Dare,
in ODST. Yeah. Actually, yeah. And technically, Locke is working with ODST in Halo 2 Anniversary, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, technically with lock-ins too.
Technically.
To some
In a
extent.
cutscene, you see it.
Yeah, yeah,
About that.
exactly. But that was kind of interesting. Who knows if they'll go back to the narrative events? Maybe, maybe not. But speaking
Maybe
of,
if they get the campaign team back, then maybe.
right? I mean, let's see. So, one of our questions, or not necessarily questions, but we asked some questions on Twitter, on Discord, wherever, and one of them was asking about, hey, did we see the latest intel drop? And for those who don't know, there's always, whenever a season happens, every couple weeks there's an intel drop, has some kind of like canon lore things, blah blah blah. And Stasif was asking, he was asking in the chat earlier too. And if you go to the intel drop, give me a second, I'll pop it on the screen in a second. We hear that typing.
Aarsal, I think your video is popping out the right and bottom of your border.
Oh, what, really?
Yep, just a little bit.
Oh, I know, yeah, it is. It is. I actually tried fixing it in the middle of the thing. Because it's grouped.
If you hold
It's giving me
Alt
trouble.
and move, it's real. Yeah.
The issue is it's a freaking group. That being
Groups
said,
is worse, but you can still do it.
fixed. Okay, all right, I got it. Okay, all right. So, give me a second. So I'll quickly go through this. So this is the Intel page, bunch of random things. But this one here is the last one released a day ago. Intel 5, Emergency Contact Protocol. Warning, warning. Spartan Containment Fire Team compromised. This is Captain Alvarez of the UNSC Saturn. I am declaring Corruptor and Upsilon Upsilon protocols. All remaining groundside personnel have 7 minutes to withdraw from Site 22 as the Saturn moves into position. ...
I wonder if that is. It almost sounds like it's relating more to the flood.
So this is the flood, because actually corruption, or corruptor rather, I had no idea what this meant, and I kind of looked at reactions of it. Corruptor is the term used when a Spartan is infected by flood. So this is the first canon iteration or event of a Spartan, and possibly an entire Spartan team, being infected by the flood. And apparently, like, the protocols they have is like nuke the planet. Or nuke the area where I'm not even joking, like nuke the ship, nuke the area where a Spartan or a Spartan team has been compromised.
Yep. And typically with we see in Halo 3 that Shipmaster said that like
if even
one
a single
spore can
flood
destroy
spore.
a planet.
Yeah.
So like the best thing to do is basically glass the a huge fucking area, and then he's like, "You'll thank me later."
They glassed Australia, right?
A lot of Africa. Australia was wrecked
most
in
Africa.
Halo 4. The Didac just.
I remember Australia got blowed up. Yeah, it got blowed up, and everyone's like, "Yeah."
Didac hates Australia.
That's right. Well, to be fair, the UNSC base of operations.
I'm gonna be reviewing his book in January.
Dude, I'm really excited for that one, man. Like that one, I'm 100%.
Yeah, you guys read Outcasts? I got 2 of them right there.
I really should have now because friggin' what's his face is gonna be there at Worlds. What's his name? Dang it, something with a J.
Troy Denning.
Troy Denning, yes, yeah, he's gonna be there at Worlds, sign books, talk about the lore. Really regret not reading the book.
See, I could. If
so
we had the money, I could have sent you the early manuscript
and get it signed.
That'd be like, how'd you get that?
And yeah.
See. That's something that I would like love to have is like the early manuscript version of like a book or something. That just seems like it'd be so fucking cool. Because like I already have, I talked about this before. Like I have some like prototype toys and stuff like that from the studio. So yeah, some cool stuff.
Yeah.
That's really
so
cool.
this one I wasn't allowed to say we have any of it, but like uncorrected proof, not for sale. Like cool. it was had some pages that weren't super dark on the printing and stuff, and some spelling errors, and then they go through, but it's got like that at the top, the media consultation thing.
Oh,
so that's really neat. Cool. That's really cool, and probably adds to the experience too, just reading it. I'm guessing it had like typos and things like that.
Oh yeah, not many.
Okay. But yeah, so that's the implication, and this is canon, and it's I think like the most like modern day information we've had. But they might.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows what they're going with the multiplayer story? Like we all thought they're going to put a multiplayer Spartan in campaign. They put Chief in multiplayer instead, right? Like.
Yeah. well, I mean, I think they like so with the putting multiplayer in the campaign, yeah, people have been wanting that for a while, but then again, it goes back to there's not really much of a campaign team.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
um so that's probably why they went opposite with it. But that would be something really cool because that's a good way to merge both the
Yeah.
stories in.
Yeah.
And for you to have instead of just 4 chiefs walking around, to
Multiplayer
have
Spartan. Yeah, I mean, it was
yeah,
right there,
multiple
right?
Spartans.
I get it though. They,
Yep.
they prioritized, and they probably did make the right decision,
I'll
considering.
say it's a lot of that too was cutting room floor,
Mm,
unfortunately too, because that stuff was I wouldn't say close, but with all the pushbacks and all the other stuff that
yeah,
happened, it's just like it was possible.
that's game development, right?
Yeah.
But yeah,
It's Halo development where it's just an absolute mess right up until launch.
straight up.
Yeah.
But anyways, so that is kind of interesting. Lore implications for the future. Who knows what might happen? Who knows if maybe they actually do it? Maybe infected
I
Spartans for cosmetics is canon. Like, hey, those are.
I yeah, it could be canon. Well, yeah, with that little tidbit, yeah, maybe now. Because in Halo 4, when they had the infected Spartans, that I believe wasn't canon. If I'm correct on
Yes,
my
yes. I don't think it was. Yeah, that
feedback.
was just a game mode.
Yeah. It was like because the original the canon for the longest time was that Spartans couldn't get infected
Yeah.
with the genetic stuff. That was kind of their reasoning for why Sergeant Johnson in Halo 3 never got infected by the flood if he died and stuff like that, and just a bunch of other canon there was just that something with the program, the Spartan program caused, pumped full of drugs and you're
They were
not
the one
immune.
in all recorded history that couldn't get infected. They found the
Mhm.
cure. That
Yep.
should have had huge implications. Make every human a Spartan. You don't have to worry about the flood anymore.
Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go.
That being said, apparently in Halo: The Flood, the book that came out in like 2005, Chief was almost infected, or so they say. Cortana like stopped the infection before, or to stop it from getting into
It's
it.
a big thing
Yeah.
in Western media is they feel like it's worth coming up with like reasons why something didn't happen if they hadn't thought of it before or they
Yeah.
hadn't thought
Yeah.
of a new thing at that time. And it's funny, like with Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom,
Ugh.
where'd all the huge tech
Where'd they
from Breath
go?
of the
Where'd
Wild
they
go?
go?
And they're like, oh, it just disappeared. No one knows why. That's it. That's the official explanation. It's been like a year or something. They're like, yeah, no, they just disappeared. Maybe their job was done and they just decided that was it. And that's it. They didn't
Link
give
just
it another
systematically went and killed all of them. Just wiped
But
it all. From the...
with some of those books though, like the flood and stuff like that, back then too, like Bungie had the story and everything, and that's drastically changed now. But a lot of those books they were like closely tied, but I think the writers had a lot more free
Yes,
reign.
yes,
I believe.
yeah. Like something like the flood. I mean, canon is the game, obviously, right? The game events.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's how it always
Bungie
went.
ignored the books when they were making the game.
Dude, they almost
They
didn't
just-
allow the release of Fall of Reach, which is insane to me. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's different.
And then
people
they
that just play the
retold it
games.
in a worse way in the
God.
game.
People say Reach is the best.
Yeah.
They clearly had not read that book when they played that game.
No.
I actually playing through the game. It was like one of the first times because as much as I love Halo, like it wasn't what people always thought it was. The extended universe was the cool story part of
Yeah.
Halo.
Yeah.
So much of 1 and 2.
I mean,
and
1, 2, and 3 were just big
movie
action movies, right?
They were movie references a
Yeah.
lot,
Yeah.
lot of movie references over and over again. It wasn't really until 4. It wasn't until they in ODST ended up just being like a Firefly reunion thing
Yep.
that I
Yeah.
whatever. But Reach was the first time it felt like okay, they've got some writing chops and they've got some
Yeah, fair enough.
some story
Fair
they're
enough.
really trying to tell here. It just felt more it felt more prestige.
Yes, yes.
in a way.
That's a good way of putting
And
it.
then 4 picked it up and was just incredible. 5 was not, and then Infinite was the best one.
Yep. 100%. 100%.
And I've talked about it before on this. I know we're going kind of off on a tangent of Halo, but Halo 4 I think had a great story, and I wish they would have continued on with the Didact. He was such a great villain.
I'm very
Reclaimers
happy they're
saga.
bringing him back.
Yeah.
I think they agreed with you, and that's why they are literally bringing him back for this book instead of having the canon be he died in a comic.
I am assuming
Yeah.
this is his end, though. This book, like this will be the character's
Probably.
conclusion.
But I mean, like they really don't end much. Like they brought back Guilty Spark for a bunch of books,
So many.
and it wasn't until like the 5th or 6th one it was his end, and he doesn't die or anything. It's an old freaking book. It's not a spoiler. He doesn't die. It ends up being something different, which was you guys are probably
Go ahead.
I've read the new ones. He ends up in another galaxy. Essentially, that was the plan to get away from the flood. From what I remember, I read it like a year or two ago. But he ends up somewhere else as part of the librarian's plan to send life off other places outside of where the flood is.
This is from the more recent books with him, right? Where he's like in a robot body.
Yeah, the Kelly Gay one, I think.
Okay, yeah, I'm still working my way through those. So I haven't got those ones yet. So
that's really interesting. I gotta read them. I gotta read more. And what's his face's daughter, right?
I think it was Renegades.
Yeah,
Renegades. That was 2019.
No, that was the latest one. It was
Point of Light. Point of Light.
Okay,
that was it. Yeah, Ryan.
I've been getting the audiobooks, a lot of them, so I can listen to them at work sometimes. I need to get back into listening to them at work.
They're all on my local library, which is nice.
We
got a really good library system here, so you just get Libby. If you got a library card, download Libby. You get audio or regular books.
And yes, Thoughtsafe, as long as they don't reboot the current story, I'm okay. No matter how long they take, I'm okay with whatever the hell they do. Just please, just pick up. Just continue.
Well, I mean,
they've just been telling
already a reboot.
Exactly.
Yeah, they've been telling more and more in the books. Like the last couple of books have just been extending this story. They haven't reset anything or ignored it or done time jumps. Like the last one was literally how the Banished got to the ring, pretty much.
And who knows? Maybe this is a long shot. Maybe it's a shot in the moon. But maybe they do release smaller. I don't want to say bite-sized, but not fully giant. Hey, new multiplayer, 20 new maps. Everything.
Rubicon Protocol would have been a really fun. They could have made that into a fun,
like a prequel
campaign, but it's going to be the prequel. It's going to be a prequel where, because I mean, most of them are dead. From Halo Infinite's campaign, because it stars pretty much everyone that died in Halo Infinite.
All the audio logs.
People. Yeah, it's all those people. So like living through and going through all that would have been could have been really cool, especially because it's all set in the maps they already have pretty much.
Yep, that'd been really cool. Okay, all right, is what it is. For now, let's look forward to the future, and who knows, maybe they're hiring for campaign again. It
seems like this is the systemic reboot of the studio.
Yes.
Instead of just cutting off Halo or killing it, like it could have happened if Bonnie hadn't really stepped up to make 343 and shepherd the thing for so long.
Yeah.
Which, like, people can say whatever they want about her, as long as they aren't assholes. But it's like Halo wouldn't have been a thing after Bungie left if it wasn't for people like her that really wanted to keep it going and felt they could be this big transmedia thing. Like, will they be in a position to actually have tie-ins with Halo Season 2? Like, that would be cool.
Show, right?
We could get, if we get a Silver Team cosmetic pack in the game type of stuff.
Considering their pipeline seems to be a lot more in control. I mean, we actually
exists now.
It exists straight up, right? We actually have some Halloween-centric Halloween-centric cosmetics, which is pretty cool because we didn't have any of them the last couple of years, I don't think. Or the last year, I should say. This is year 2 of Halo, and we're almost 2 years into the cycle of the game. Well, actually, so technically...
If you treat it like an early access game, this is them getting up to be ready to go live.
Yes.
Like they're getting to the point where, okay, now we've got such a good base, we can start building it into stuff that we start.
Yes.
It's just...
Yes. What was I going to say? God, that completely threw me off.
Yeah, I know. It's a message. I was talking that and I didn't even know what you guys were talking about.
Yeah, no, the same thing. In terms of their campaign, in terms of the pipelines, it looks like it's finally moving forward.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Like, I'll be honest, man. If this is the next Halo multiplayer for the next 5, 6, 7, even 10 years, I'm okay with that. Like, keep this going multiplayer-wise. Work on a campaign and only a friggin'
drop
campaign.
Xbox One support somehow.
Please. That should be a no-brainer. I was hoping
there would have to be a really big lead time because people that are playing it on there that have spent a lot of money will be pissed.
Yeah, that's 100% true. But like let the campaign team do friggin' campaign, right? Stop having them worry about, oh, is this gonna mess with the multiplayer? Is this gonna do that? Blah 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 blah. Like it's
Yeah, they separated it in the client now, so it doesn't have to mess anything else up.
and how many games have learned their lesson the hard way of, hey, rebooting a game or making another sequel doesn't always work the best. Not every game is Call of Duty, right? Where you have legions of people lining up to buy your game, no matter what you remove or reuse or recycle or whatever. You know, like, but yeah,
Like the new Saints Row, I actually liked it quite
Yeah.
a bit, but it was a reboot that only kept a few tangential things from the original. Really, I actually preferred it to the original because I never really liked the Saints Row games. But Saints Row is also a very weird franchise of being pure GTA
Yeah.
clone, kind of a GTA clone,
mhm.
superhero GTA clone, superhero GTA clone, and then irreverent, action, very light RPG open world game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've never
anorexic.
played
It would
the
affect
newest
quite
one.
a few people because Halo Infinite can run on a friggin' potato right now. So I mean, if they decide to keep this game running long term, they gotta do it eventually, right? It's what I
Yeah.
say, but Fortnite never dropped it, right? Or did it with the latest update?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I
What?
don't know.
No, all the biggest games are still on.
They're still on everything.
It's,
So yeah,
yeah.
It's because the console's still kind of new and stuff, and like especially with the we've touched on it before that with like the economy and stuff like that, it's just not a lot of people have upgraded. And even when they were making the game, the largest amount of players that they knew were going to be playing was going to be the Xbox One.
Yeah.
And they had to make the difficult choice of just like, well, in order to get all the player base that we want, we have to make it on Xbox One. And I think eventually the plan is to like drop it.
I'm sure they
but
have a roadmap
who knows?
somewhere, right?
Yeah, like who knows when that's going to be now though. Like my guess is they would have done kind of a next like huge campaign drop, almost like a second campaign.
Yeah.
Instead of just like little tidbits and stuff that would have probably pushed it to be like, hey, this is only available on the Series X.
Yeah.
We're dropping old gen, we're moving to new.
Yeah, but that would have made sense. And who knows? Maybe the new team that's coming up sees the base of Halo Infinite, like, hey, let's just build off on top of this. People like Halo Infinite's campaign.
And they'll get to see all the cut content that is there to be built off of. Like there's supposedly a very large amount of things that were iterated on and looked at, and it's there. You can build off of it as a skeleton instead of having to start from scratch.
Yeah, there's like, and it sucks to not be able to say like all the stuff, but there's a lot of stuff that got cut that it's like, man, would be so fucking cool. And a lot of it is there. There's a lot of bones stuff that they can build upon.
Yep. But okay, all right, moving on, because it's, like I said, is usually a shorter podcast. Okay. So
Hey, not with me on
yeah.
Yeah,
we're used to just
I don't even
right? So...
I barely talk on the main one, and it still ends up going 3 hours because Nick never shows up.
God, and he just talks so slow. Nick, he's never gonna see this. Like even when I was on last week, I'm like, man, where's the 1.5? I can't do it in real life. How do I do it?
When he's on a show later in the day, it's faster, but he's just waking up.
That makes sense.
So
that
it's
makes
like
sense.
everything's just starting for him, and he's old.
Yeah.
So
okay, all right. So that's Halo Infinite Season 5. We're getting more information in the coming days. We'll be playing it in a week. We'll probably be live again next week, Wednesday, with our first initial impressions, if we can. I know going twice immediately after might not work for everyone. But this weekend is Halo Infinite Worlds, which is a big fan event. There's a community stage, things like that. I'm going because I didn't go last year because I had a friend's wedding the same weekend, like a close friend's wedding, so I couldn't even skip it. I'm going. I'm taking my brother with me, and technically, because I'm paying for his friggin' flight, I'm having him represent Xbox Era when he plays because he's pretty good at free for all. He's a chance of making it, chance of winning it, I should say, which would be nice. You know, this giant Xbox Era thing. Blah blah. We got these jerseys.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah,
I've got this chair. I'm the most Halo on the channel.
That is true. You know, I drafted an entire
This is a 17. That 17 is for the 1700. Let me cover 1-1. That's for the $1,700 it costs.
Oh man. But yeah, Worlds is this weekend. For anyone wanting more information of Season 5, I believe they're streaming it on either Friday or Saturday. They're going through the entire Battle Pass in the community stage, which will have its own stream too. last year, the community stage was a lot of fun. I've heard it had like actually, so Kurt, my brother, he's like so back then Rings of Power was airing, and they had Steve
Oh.
Downey and
Mounds.
Steve Downs, sorry, Steve
Yeah.
Downs and friggin' I was thinking from Downey Jr. Steve Downs
Jen
and
Taylor.
Jen Taylor do the lines from Rings of Power a little, like she was playing Galadriel, and my brother's like, it was super cool, like it was just seeing them do that stuff.
Those two are great.
Yeah,
and
I'm
stuff.
excited to finally meet them, man, in real life.
Was there an event already happened or is happening where it's going to have them and the Arbiter, Keith David? They were all. I remember seeing that on Twitter. They were either all at or were going to be at something this year.
It might be Worlds. I don't know if
Oh.
Keith David's making it. That'd be
Yeah.
super cool. I'm a massive Keith David fan.
Yeah, but isn't he like not a fan of Halo?
Mhm.
I always heard
Fan of
that
money.
he. Yeah, I guess if you give him money, he'll be a fan of
Yeah, straight
anything.
up.
But I always heard that he wasn't a huge fan of playing the Arbiter and being in Halo.
Oh, he is here, by the way. He's coming to Worlds this year. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
All
Well,
right.
yeah. I
Sweet.
see. I have a good memory.
Yeah, what the heck? Yeah, the first time ever that the Master Chief, Cortana, and the Arbiter will be in the same room.
Oh gosh, that would be cool.
That's cool. That's
I
cool.
would love to see that. Make sure to get pictures.
Oh, I
and
100%
videos.
will. In fact, if
One thing I remember, Keith David was in some TV show that was really weird.
Community.
Like preachy
using Community for the last
Christian.
couple
No,
seasons.
it was a like a sitcom
Community.
with a family. I remember seeing. I was like, oh, no, it was like some weird, very preachy Christian show.
Oh, dang.
Like I
Okay.
was wondering what he'd been up to.
Money's
Yeah.
money, man. Money's money.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's currently voicing Zavala, right, in the next Destiny expansion.
Mhm.
So that's cool.
Which we'll finally have a review
Nice.
on time.
Oh, yeah.
for those. I'm kidding, Austin. I'm kidding. But
Don't
yes,
worry,
I'll
no
be
one
doing that
watches this thing. But yeah, we're going to Worlds this week. It should be a lot of fun. Giant prize pool, a ton of tournaments, which is kind of nice. There's like a Halo 5 tournament, a Halo 2 tournament, a Halo 3 tournament. I think there's even a Halo 4 tournament with like money behind them. So
Nice.
that should be cool. Keep an eye out on the channel for some pictures, some updates. I might do it on my own personal Twitter or maybe on the main one. We'll see.
Yeah, do it on the main one.
Yeah.
It's Halo related.
I'll take my laptop. In fact, I'll be playing Season 5 there, just like a little earlier than you guys, but I'll post my impressions up that weekend on the new maps and maybe the new
Just
Bandit
a little
rifle.
smug about it.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%. I was so hoping I'd be playing Firefight this weekend, man. I was like fully expecting to sit down and just play Firefight the whole weekend, like literally. Like that would have forced me off. Greenleaf, Shingy says, the Christian soap opera. But okay,
No.
all right. That's Worlds.
Of course, he would know that.
right? That's Worlds. Anyone interested? Check it out for sure. The matches are pretty exciting in terms of the actual competitive side. A lot of teams are really good coming into this, and according to my brother, the scrims have been going not as how people expect. Like really good teams are losing to teams that they shouldn't to, which is always fun in
That's what-
sports,
that's what
you know, or
makes it fun.
esports, I guess.
HES is going strong, huh? Because didn't Overwatch League just die?
Overwatch League has always had some trouble with like the franchising and things like that. HCS, what's kind of nice is it's still really community focused. Like I think it's one of the few esports where you can just get a team, show up to a major, and if you're good enough, make it on main stage. You know, like right then and there. You have to be really damn good, and the competition at this point is phenomenal. Like it's way too high. Hey, what's happening?
What?
Anyways, okay. And that's Halo Worlds. That's all the news topics for the week, I believe, or the 2 weeks, or the 3 weeks, unless I missed something. Even if I did, well, we'll
I
deal
don't think
with it
so.
later.
That's at least the major news that's popped up that
Yeah.
people care about. So
Yeah. And then, so we actually had, and it just came out on our channel, I think, like a few hours ago, another Forge feature, for a map, by June. Actually, I'm not sure. He told me to play this map. All right, I actually haven't seen the video myself, so we're watching it together. For the first time.
did you do a feature? Did he do a feature of his own map?
Yes, he did. It is his map. Oh, this is his pirate map, isn't it?
Hope these things
I-
don't kill our channel. They get like 50 views.
Oh, also he 100% used licensed music. He's like, hey, play this, but don't play the music. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, because it's already completely demonetized. So.
Yep. Who's
Don't worry,
surprised
this
me.
stream will become limited monetization, and you'll have to request a review. It happens on every stream we do now. No idea why.
Really? That's
Yeah,
annoying.
I always double check them.
That's annoying. But yeah, this is actually. I mean, we all know John really loves making pirate ships. I think his Halo 5 he had like this giant boat for some reason. Well, this actually looks pretty cool. Dang, why would he shoot up? Oh, he's just like.
When did he have this go live? Because we do some of our features. I need to talk to him on some stuff because we do our features on like typically on Fridays.
Everyone's so.
Past couple weeks, I have been kind of behind on it. Just been busy with shit.
I think this is the issue with only being work from home essentially, which we all are. Is like we don't go into an office and just talk. You know what I mean? So it's like.
Well, I have a schedule posted.
So much of my reviews, editor, and producer stuff is just constantly pinging people to say, hey, time. Are you doing this? You have this? What is it going on with this? Like, definitely could probably use like a Teams or something, but we're not paying anyone, so
exactly.
I can't force.
Or even like a
people
Jira board, to be honest. Like, if we really wanted to get more official with it, you know.
Well, for the reviews, I've got a whole spreadsheet and everything I've got. And I just normally go through. Okay, I've given this and that, but yeah, it's it would be really nice for this to be like a company, and then we can really do stuff, and people are able to put the time into it that everyone wants to, but can't because you'll have to go to a darn friggin' daytime job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of putting more money into this and us possibly getting there are the Patreons who support us and who make this show possible. Yeah, I kind of lost the.
They're all right.
Yeah. But we're approaching the end of the show, which means stupid thing. It means it's time of the show where we thank our Patreons and our YouTube members and our Discord members and basically anyone that's kind of supporting us, even if you're just watching and chatting. To be honest, I like it. I'd prefer it if you just chatted with us during our podcast. It's a lot of fun. It's nice getting back and forth. For those of us who really want to support us more, check out our Patreon. The link is just patreon.com/XboxEra. No / It's always a / I'm not going to say /. Check us out there. I think we have a tip jar, which is like $1 something. And we're slowly...
$3 is the cheapest.
$3 is the cheapest. All right. So like 15.
Cup of coffee.
15 Australia. Yeah, especially these days, huh?
Prices doesn't even cover a cup of coffee nowadays.
I was talking to someone at work and they're like, it was here, $2 changed. I'm like, she's like, it's a coffee. I'm like, no, that's not a coffee anymore. That's maybe a tiny bit of a coffee.
You go into like a gas station, you might be able to. Other than that,
like a Speedway or something like that. Yeah, get that 99-cent coffee.
Just straight up. Or the worst hot chocolate you ever had in your life. But yeah, if you really want to support us, check us out there. Check us out in the forums. Come hang out with us on the Discord. The link is also just XboxEra Discord. You can Google it. I'll post it in the chat momentarily. But one thing which anyone can do, not just Patreon members for our podcast, is ask some questions. So we asked on Twitter this week, and we had a couple, there's a Discord link, a couple responses. The first, which is definitely not by any of us on the team, is HaloEra asked us, what is your favorite thing revealed in the trailer?
Yeah. Well, I mentioned it earlier.
Wonder who asked us that, Austin.
Yeah. I was like, I could put a question. Mine's the definitely the helmets being on any core. It's a small thing, but I compared to like AI and Forge and Firefight and stuff, but it's just one of those little things that I just have been wanting for so damn long.
Sorry, my cat snuck up on me. And yeah, sorry, actually, I also keep forgetting to post on the forums. And speaking of, actually, we still need to figure out what we're doing with the thread for just changing the name or making it OT. Yep. We'll get that taken care of before the next show. Favorite thing for the trailer is just how good of a trailer it is. Their trailer departments have been pretty good lately. And it's short, it's to the point, it's, punchy. Gets the image across. And I really, really, really hope we see something from them June next year, because that's also when the next season is coming soon. Season 7 or so. We'll be around then. What about you, Jesse? Any particular thing in the trailer that stuck out?
You know me, it's just Firefight. That's the main thing I've wanted ever since the game launched, was some type of PvE content, and to finally get both Forge and AI and Forge, and with that coming Firefight, which I think they were always pretty hand in hand for how things are going to work. Because yeah, that's what I will be playing a lot of. I'll probably be streaming a lot of it on this channel.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, that'd be a lot of. And I'll join you if that's a good time. Even though I've been saying that for the past little while. So busy these days.
I mean, I'm just not expecting it. You won't join me.
It's busy. All right, it's a busy time. Okay. What was I gonna say? Actually, one thing I wanted to say was
I've literally been playing Lords of the Fallen all day, every day for a full week. He only played one.
I don't even have my room for the past like 3 days. All right. But okay. One thing's
I played more with Zach from Windows Central than I did with you.
Oh dang, Zach Bowden? No. Yeah. No. That's someone else. That's friggin'. That's Blizzard. Anyways.
Oh no, sorry. I played not Zach. Sorry, Brendan.
Okay.
Brendan
Okay.
Lowry.
I
was actually talking to both of them. That's why I had the name.
Oh, that's cool. I was gonna say, actually, they're adding Halo CE armor items. Did you see that, Nick? Like the original helmet, the original visor, the original backplate, and everything. Like I don't know if it's a core or a kit or something.
For what was the first part of the sentence? Let's read something.
For Halo Infinite Season 5.
Oh yeah, but what kind of helmet and stuff?
Halo CE.
Oh, Halo CE. Okay, so I thought you said. Oh, that's
like
awesome.
here.
That's
Let
cool.
me. Oh, stupid cat. God. Yeah, I hear you. Oh, stupid. Okay.
Are you gonna throw it up on stream?
Yes, I was about to. Okay, here. You see that? The two chiefs in the middle.
Well,
yeah, it'll catch
a moment.
Click, 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 click live.
Yeah,
when you
that's
get
the
it.
one. Oh, okay, yeah.
Right, it's straight
cool.
up. There's another part in this trailer where you see it more clearly.
I want the original Xbox backpack that's in the Master Chief Collection.
Oh man, yeah, that'd be cool.
Too bad. Red versus Blue isn't really a thing anymore.
Yeah, I don't even know what's happening with that. They're releasing a final season. They pulled everything off of YouTube. I don't know. Rooster Teeth has been kind of weird.
They pulled everything off of YouTube?
Yeah, apparently they pulled all their stuff off YouTube. Something about the ad revenue not being worth it.
Wow.
Yeah.
They really just said, fuck you.
Yeah, straight up, right? Wonder if it's still on Netflix. But anyways, okay, moving on. Back to the Twitter.
Glad I have the DVDs.
Okay, so Kevin/Vinny asks, now that custom games will give Battlepass EXP, do you think 343 will put some extra resources to improve custom game options? It's so frustrating to have to use Forge to really change simple things like weapons on maps that were menu options in Halo 2 and 3.
Yes, I believe that is the intent, is for them to eventually like kind of make that system better.
Yeah,
they got a long list of things to get through, and it's in there, but a little lower than what they've been doing.
Yeah, but I think it's. I actually don't know. I thought I might have heard something that it was
some improvements
like in the works or something. Like some kind of improvement was coming. I'm not sure though. I don't know if it was someone doing a theory or if it was a leak or what. Sometimes you just hear so much info; it's hard to keep track of what's what.
Yeah,
but I believe it is actually in the pipeline. I think.
I remember they mentioned they had like a giant master list of things to do, and one of the Spartan chatters, Tashi, like pulls it up during the thing. It's like, let me see what's up. Yeah, it's right here. It's on the list. We're doing so and so. It's currently in the works.
Yep.
Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, to make improvements in something, you need it to be worthwhile, right? So hopefully, this EXP and custom games lets more people play custom games, host more custom games. You know, the usual works. Okay.
Yeah, and a lot of it's dependent on other stuff too. It's just like, like other systems that need to be in place beforehand. So it's kind of like working through. Okay, we need all this other stuff done before we can, fix this kind of thing, and before we can add this. Otherwise, it's not worth it. And that kind of stuff. It's a lot of juggling.
Yeah, it's software development, right? Never easy.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the last question. And I realized I screwed the order up a little bit because of trying to get a segue in something. But now we're gonna do the part of the show that's still pretty experimental, and it is 100% an ape on. Hey, I used the word the right way, huh? I see what you mean now, Jesse. I see what you mean. Copying ape. It's an ape on the main show's name a game show, but more Halo centric. So what we're gonna do. Before I do that, chat, I need you guys to give me a number from 10 to 350. Any number.
Pick any number.
16.
Chat. I said chat. You might have the book open. 349. Okay, all right. Before that,
Oh,
we
we gotta
have
skip
a
that.
super chat from Gooey Cheese 42. Sorry, I don't have time to listen to it right now, but wanted to show my support. Thanks a lot.
Awesome.
Aw.
Well, thank you. Thank you. We love you.
I should have timestamps up for this episode. Hopefully tomorrow at work. That's all I'll do.
Immediately, and they must be as good as Nick's, or else
Oh, they're never as good as Nick's.
Make
I
fun of-
go pretty general.
you don't have horrendous OCD that just cripples you into spending 2 hours after doing a podcast
Literally.
to rewatch the entire thing.
He has timestamps for like 30 seconds worth of footage. I'm like, what?
I know it kills me. It's like,
But anyways, so
no one can actually
what
see
we're
those, Nick.
doing here is there's this giant book here, the Halo Encyclopedia. We're gonna pick a random page. Well, not a random page. You guys choose the page, and we're gonna play a bit of a game. And we have 2 people now, so we actually make it a bit of a competition.
Also, just as a head start for later, since we figured this out last time, put in some other numbers of what pages you want to see.
Yes.
Because we'll do this a few times.
Yes, that is
So
true.
only a few numbers.
Alexa, give
Jesse
me
gonna
give
pull
me
out his encyclopedia book.
give me another number. I gotta narrow this down a little bit. Maybe I gotta like no whoa.
Oh, I can't cheat.
No, you can't cheat.
Yeah, all right.
All right, you know what? Wow, there is so much obscure information in this thing. Jesus.
Can I use this
Yeah.
one?
The old one?
I have. That's the one I have. I don't have the nice new one yet. I need to get that, but once again,
Do you ever do anything with this
money.
one?
How many Halo books
Yep.
do you have, man?
Ooh, that's another one I wanted.
I mean, how about this one? Yeah, that's it.
Sweet. Oh, we got another donation.
99 cents.
Anorexic.
But no, Anorexic, thank you for the.
What if
He
that's
just
a
want-
new
he-
number?
That is
What
a
is-
super sticker.
Oh,
That is a super sticker.
Oh,
Oh.
wait, is the super sticker 100,
100.
or is it 99?
There you
Yep.
go. That's the
100.
number. 99. For the, well, I guess it
Okay,
would.
pick
Yeah,
medium.
it's the number 100.
All right, guys,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
choose
that's
mid,
what it
top, or bottom.
Well, we'll just
I'm
pick-
versatile.
That is mid. Okay, all right. Okay, all right.
When you got 3 people,
I'm gonna go with.
do top. I think last time we started bottom.
Okay. Let's start top. Okay. Also, I realize now that this doesn't work for every numbers, so I'm gonna need to fine tune this a little bit for the next one. Okay, this is something in Halo lore. I'm gonna give you guys a few hints, and whoever gets it gets it. There's no prize or anything yet. All right. This person was a remarkably talented warfighter and skilled close quarters specialist, unyieldingly ruthless and prone to overkill.
A meal.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
that's a
guess.
meal.
This.
How'd you get that so quick?
He's the only one that like I know is really good close quarter, and I believe I remember there being something about like overkill and like related to him.
yeah, he was the maniac that just never wanted to stop. Pretty much when they were going.
Okay, all right. Okay,
Yeah.
that worked out well. I'm gonna go straight to another one. This was someone that has an impressive skill set in battlefield tactics. Mostly an informal dry candor. He's team leader,
Carter.
clinical, not Carter, burdened by the responsibility of the role. Quick decision making. All of this was made apparent in his leadership of Spartan 3s during the blank conflict.
Frank?
Oh,
Or not? Fred.
Yeah, Fred. Dang, you know your lore, Nick.
Yeah.
Go
Mhm.
Savonix, huh? I haven't read that book in a
Better
while.
than last week.
Yeah,
last,
what the
last
heck?
week
That's
was
what you're
rough.
blanking completely.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the old lore I'm good at.
Okay.
Not so much the new stuff yet.
yeah. Ask something about like Rubicon Protocol or Outcast, and I'll kill it.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna just read a bunch of military jargon and let's see if you guys get this. So this is a non-linear rifle. And it is what the heck's eponymous mean? I don't fucking know books, man. It's shoulder mounted.
What if I fit nonlinear?
Unparalleled accuracy over astonishing distances.
Oh, Spartan laser.
Yeah. What's the actual name of the gun?
Oh gosh, that's
Do you even have an idea? Like I have no idea if I didn't read a book like this.
Oh.
It's probably a bunch of letters and numbers, isn't it?
One letter,
Is it
one
like
number.
It's probably like
yeah.
S. Oh,
Was it
I don't know.
It's the M6 non.
the M6?
Yeah, M6. Yeah.
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 Jesus Christ, it took me very long. It took me way too long for that, but yes.
Okay.
My first guess was gonna be rocket launcher, but then when you said unparalleled accuracy, I was like,
Launcher
oh,
does not have
laser.
unparalleled accuracy. Okay, last one. I'm gonna be quick at this. Once allied with ancient humans.
Oh, Sang Shum.
Yeah, dang. Only needed one line, huh?
Yep.
You're on a roll.
Well,
today.
they were the only allies.
Yeah,
You know what, Jesse? If you want to ask us one, man. I kind of wanna see if I know anything about this game. You still have the book on you?
Mm-hmm.
So
it's right there.
yeah, that is true. That is true. One? No, we can't do
Your
do
number
one.
is
It's-
one.
One would be like the publisher.
The introduction.
Not even the introduction by one, man. It'll be we can see the image of the book, Jesse. Careful.
Yeah, I'm jumping through.
You know what? You probably looked at my book, didn't you, Nick? You could probably see it in my camera. Nope. No, you can't. Okay.
Nope.
All right.
Yeah. My eyesight's not that good. It's just you actually asked questions that I knew.
Anything you think we'd know? Let's see. There's so much stuff in that, though.
An adept and resourceful salvager, they have a penchant for finding valuable amid the cast-off.
Jackals.
Served as
Yeah.
not only a useful skill in
Wait.
her craft, but as an underlying theme in her more personal endeavors. The confident, daring captain of a mariner-class vessel, the blank of blank, their true goal was finding something much more valuable to them than any high-tech wreckage.
I feel like I know
Looking
this.
for the truth about someone's fate.
This is Ryan Forge's daughter. Oh, crap, what's her name? No, it's not.
Yeah, no, her name is Ryan Forge.
Her name is Ryan Forge. So what's
Yeah.
Captain Forge's name?
I forgot. John Forge.
John. Really?
Not Forge.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's Ryan Forge. Nice. Okay. Okay. I had a feeling.
I
All
didn't
Yeah,
know the Ryan
you got it.
Forge one.
right, cool. I'm cool. I beat Nick. I'm 1-0. I'm okay with that. If you want another one, Jesse, feel free. If not, we're cool to call it here. It's been a nice podcast. Not too long.
Yeah,
Not
we can do
too
one more. Let's do
short.
one more.
All right, one more. And my count will go up too.
Oh my god, this will be way too easy. I gotta find a good one.
Well, that's fine. Like
Meow.
last week, Soul thought one would be real easy. It took me forever. It's freaking lock.
Yes, I don't know. You didn't get locked. Like, are you serious? Oh man.
All right. Ooh, these might be
Yeah,
good.
this game-
Quite a
this game
good
is
one.
kinda-
But next episode we'll have more
it's a
stuff
little
to
bit
actually
more-
talk about because we're playing the game, and we'll have probably like 6 blog posts to go through. So expect that
Yeah.
one to be more news heavy or impressions.
Yeah, because
heavy.
I think well, so too next week. Are we doing an episode? Are we doing an
It's up
episode
to you.
next week,
I'm
right?
down to
Or
do
we
it
just,
next
like-
Wednesday because it'll be fresh in people's minds. The season just came out. But if you're not able
Yeah.
to, or if you want to move it, we can do that too. 'Cause I
No, Wednesdays I usually keep open.
Okay.
So
And it makes sense to do more episodes
yeah.
like while more news are coming. You know, like people are talking about.
Yeah. kind of gets us back onto the schedule.
Exactly.
Anyways,
Yeah.
too. So
Which I wanted.
yeah, expect another episode next week as well.
Some of the other things too easy. Get a harder one. Like this person one ship. Oh, okay. All right. A civilian consultant for OT background in Jesus Christ.
Civilian consultant.
Ecophysiology, exobiology, irreversible biology.
Is this
They
Halsey?
played a significant role during the Spirit of Fire's missions across human colonies in ancient foreign
Oh, this is the doctor.
Gosh, what's
God
the-
dang it.
Yeah, it's the
Fudge.
the main chick
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the games.
In Halo
I
Wars.
don't.
I mean,
Crap. You know, I still haven't played the game, so I've seen the cutscenes. So I should still know this.
I played the
Uh,
games. I can't call her
crap.
name.
Crap.
I
Doctor.
played-
Mr.
you totally went robot. And you
Wait, what was it?
okay.
Oh. Mr.
Mr.
Son.
Mr. Emerson?
Son. Emerson? What the fuck?
Emerson.
Anders.
Anderson.
Professor Anders.
Anderson,
Wait, it was
yes.
Anderson? Really?
Anders. Yes.
Oh my god, I
Anders,
do know
that's right.
Anders. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
I said Mr.
Oh,
Son.
Mr.
It's
Anderson.
only Anders.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep, Anders.
Okay. All right. I get it. Oh
Yep.
crap! I can't click that yet. Sorry about that. Okay. That's the episode, guys. It's still a little unorganized, a little bit. Trying to get back on our feet again.
Pretty normal.
Next week, yeah. Then next week, expect something a little more structured. We'll talk about the Halo 5, Halo Infinite. God, I keep saying Halo 5, man. When we get to, I'm gonna say call season 6. Halo
back in time.
6, like, I swear. We'll be talking about Halo Infinite. We'll be talking about worlds, especially if something cool happened there. We're talking about the community stage. Should be a good time. In the meantime, keep an eye out on our channel. We've got a couple pretty nice videos coming out, including a few reviews for some games, which may or may not be good based on the hour or two that people have uploaded online. Anything you guys want to say before we sign out?
No, I don't think so. Except for next week.
I said meow.
Halo 5. And meow.
Yeah. Speaking of
Meow.
meows, we have a pet picture channel now in the Discord, right?
Yeah, I made pets.
That's a great idea. I want to put a
Nice.
bunch of pictures up there. Anyone watching, you want to show your pets off like every pet owner wants to? Go to the Discord, join the Discord, go to that channel, and have a great time. Thank you, everyone, for watching. And we'll see you next time.
Yep. Bye.
Goodbye.
Ciao for now.